on, everyone? This is Mitch with SC Weather. Hope y'all having a great Saturday morning as y'all getting y'all's weekend kicked off. I can tell you most places on the eastern U.S. is either freezing cold, literally, or either they're wet like where we are right now here in the South Carolina area. It is pouring here in the 30s. It is brutal. Icing events going on just north of us in North Carolina, but just raw weekend as many areas are preparing for a major winter storm, even in the south, out to Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas. So we're going to break that down. We're going to break down this major winter storm that looks like it's going to be historic as far as cold temperatures, and just as far as the cold temperatures that this winter weather is going to be falling at far south. So we're going to break all this down. If you're a new viewer, consider subscribing. If you've been a long-time viewer and occasionally watch my videos, consider subscribing. I promise you, I know that my videos probably aren't as good as some of the other people who talk weather on YouTube, but I promise you that my setup will get much better, much more appealing, if you will, and just better all around. Also, Storm Chase, I got videos of that up, so like the videos, consider subscribing. And also, I do this thing on my platform. I am a Christian, so if you guys have anything that I can pray about, anything that you want to drop in the comments that anybody else can reach out to you about and just pray for you, even if it's an unspoken prayer, do that, and I would love to throw you in my prayers for tonight, if you will. So seriously, it's just a great platform for me to glorify God. So let's talk about the weather here. So we're going to start off by looking at the professionals, the National Weather Service here. And this is incredible. The entire state of Oklahoma is under a winter storm warning. Basically, the entire state, you might as well say, of Texas, is under some kind of winter weather advisory, winter storm watch, winter storm warning, something. It's incredible. So let's just break it down by individual areas, right? So I think this is important to show because these are the professionals. So this is for the National Weather Service in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Any viewers in Oklahoma, this is going to be a major winter storm. Tulsa, and I didn't get the Oklahoma City one. Sorry about that, guys, but about the same scenario. 6 to 8 inches of snow, close to a foot in some locations. But this is the National Weather Service in Tulsa, Oklahoma. This snow will be falling in extremely cold temperatures, guys. It's not even the fact that it's a major, huge winter storm. It's the fact that it's major because how dangerous it is because of how cold the snow is going to be falling. This is going to move into this area on Sunday. We go on and get down to old Texas, Austin, San Antonio area. This is going to hit you guys too. It's been pretty active winter for you guys. So major winter storm. You could get some ice with this too. It's going to start. All this is going to start Sunday evening. 1 to 2 inches in San Antonio, according to the experts. National Weather Service, just north, 2 to 3 inches in Austin. Check out the surrounding area. So big time potential record-breaking cold to follow. This is the one that interests me the most, really. The National Weather Service in Houston and Galveston. There's a winter storm watch all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. Incredible. Just north of Houston, I really think this is a sure bet for something significant for this area. It's talking about 2 inches of snow expected in the winter storm warning area. Half inch of sleet. A half inch of sleet don't sound like a lot, but when you throw it into a bunch of other winter weather precipitation, it is just mess. We had 3 inches of sleet several years back here in Columbia, South Carolina, and I tell you, it was crazy. I've never seen that much sleet in my life. It takes a long time for several inches of sleet to pile up, and then it's thrown in with a chance of 1/8 of an inch of freezing rain. So a wintry mess here. So there, just had this area, you guys in Houston, in a winter storm watch, but it really could switch up. And check out over there in College Station, the Aggies Temple, several inches of snow. I don't think there's going to be much snow in the Houston area, Galveston, but I think it could become an icy mess, and it could be followed up by, like I said, record-breaking cold temperatures. Now check out Dallas. This has been a storm that's been aimed at Dallas for a long time. Y'all have had a wintry week. Y'all had a very unfortunate situation just north of Fort Worth with that 100-car pileup, I believe, and I think 6 people have died. It was just a terrible situation. The videos were gruesome. It was really bad. But 4 to 6 inches in Dallas is what the National Weather Service is going with. This could be higher. This could be lower. The thing about Dallas is the storm is going to throw anywhere from a 1/4 inch to maybe a 1/2 inch, maybe a little bit more of actual liquid precipitation. So it's not a high precipitation storm. It's the fact that the snow ratios are going to be so high because snow is going to be falling in the teens and single digits in this area. That is unheard of for Dallas. Always consider Dallas around the same climate as maybe Columbia. Dallas is probably a little bit colder. Up into this storm that y'all are going to end up getting in Dallas, which is pretty much a sure bet now. Y'all had been in a pretty long drought of snow since about 2015, so y'all are going to break it here. Here in Columbia, it's been in 7 years, actually. It's been pretty bad. National Weather Service in Lake Charles. Y'all are under winter storm watches, too, so anybody in this area right here, y'all under watches, they don't have a real good breakdown of this storm yet because I think they are just unsure of what it's going to do, but just north of y'all, the Shreveport area and surrounding areas, Tyler, Texas, Texarkana, Jonesboro, Louisiana. They think 2 inches of snow, but the ice too. There's going to be an accumulation of some kind of sleet, whether that's probably a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch of sleet. Expected snowfall amounts, they're going with an actual inch mark here, so they're taking a risk there. But a tenth of an inch of ice thrown in there with 4 to 5 inches of snow. That is a mess, a real big mess. You throw in just a little bit of ice, that is a big deal. Up to Arkansas, you guys are a sure bet for a major snowstorm. And like I said, it's the same kind of situation with Dallas and North Texas. It's not the fact that y'all are getting a foot of snow. Y'all might end up getting a foot of snow after the second major storm that we're going to end up having to break down too, because there's 2 major winter storms potentially. The second one's still up in the air as it looks like the winter weather will be a little bit adjusted further northwest. We're going to watch that storm because that one's going to be another one to talk about that actually might have more precipitation with it, which equals more winter weather who's cold enough for it. So you guys in Arkansas, you are plenty cold enough for just about all snow, except maybe areas of the southeast part of the state. It is going to be a high-end dry-like snow. Now we're getting further east. The National Weather Service in Jackson, Mississippi. If you're in Jackson, Mississippi, I'd expect a mix of everything. I think it's going to start off just in the surrounding areas, anywhere in the Yazoo City area. Central Mississippi, I really think it's going to be like a mixture of freezing rain, then the sleet, then the snow to cap it on off. This is an exciting storm from a meteorology perspective looking in, but it's a dangerous one for people who have to drive in this. And unfortunately, there's people who do. But I'm telling you, if you don't have to, don't. This is even a dangerous storm for people who want to, chase winter weather. This is dangerous for that unless you've got some nice truck that can really drive in these conditions. But Huntsville, it's a wild card area. I talked about this one. I talked in my last video. I talked to you about in this storm. You guys are dealing with freezing rain right now, as you can tell. It's probably going to start to melt later on. But the thing is y'all are going to be on the pure freezing rain side of the storm early next week. This could be a big-time ice storm for areas of North Alabama. So you guys, you got to watch out. I think that this could be an area where some kind of ice storm warning could be issued in northern Alabama. I think the more northwest you get into areas of northwest Alabama, y'all actually might have more of a mixture of sleet, maybe even snow. Memphis, you guys are going to get slammed. I think y'all could get anywhere from 4 to 8 inches of snow. I think there's going to be a mixture of sleet in this. They're not really throwing around accumulations yet for the National Weather Service in the Memphis area, but they will probably within the next 24 hours and probably later today, honestly, when this updates. But just south of town, more of a mix of sleet and freezing rain. But I even think areas in Oxford and Tupelo, Corinth, I think y'all are getting snow. Mostly snow, obviously, north of town. And I think, honestly, Memphis will be mostly snow. Nashville, y'all are going to get hit by a major winter storm also. Now, there's no breakdown of this because Nashville's a weird area where y'all could get a mixture of everything. But I think now this thing has trended a little bit cold enough for you guys to where y'all are going to get all frozen precipitation. Kentucky area, there's not a really good write-up from the National Weather Service in that area, but y'all are under winter storm watches. This is going to hit you guys, probably mostly snow. So I want to break this thing down for you guys. Let's get a little bit closer here. This is chances, 72-hour probability of snow accumulations of 2 inches or more. So this is 72 hours out. It goes out to about Tuesday morning. Dallas, you're almost a sure bet to get 2 inches of snow. You're in the 80 to 90% range. You get out to Memphis, anywhere from 60 to 70% chance to get 2 inches of snow, but Memphis is going to get 2 inches of snow. I can tell you that right now. This is always a little bit conservative, but it's always a great thing to look at. This is a chances of 4 inches of snow. Dallas, you're at around, I would say, a 40 to 50% chance of 4 inches of snow. Oklahoma City, I really think y'all are going to be a jackpot area. Y'all might get over 10 inches of snow. But this is the chances of 8 inches of snow. Jackpot area over Oklahoma City, so y'all got a 20 to 30% chance of that. There's just going to be such high snowfall ratios. Snowfall is going to be falling in the single digits in that area probably, and the teens, low teens even in Dallas, and single digits maybe in Dallas. I tell you what, when you look at the 10-day forecast in Dallas and Memphis, for example, it is ridiculous. I ain't never. In fact, the National Weather Service in Memphis came out and said they don't expect temperatures to get. And they've already been below freezing for I don't know how many days. I would like to hear from you guys out in the Memphis area. I think y'all been below freezing for. I think y'all might maybe get above it today. I don't even think so, but I think y'all been below it for a few days now, and y'all going to stay below it all the way until I think next Friday. So anything that falls, any precipitation that falls in this area, right in here, Arkansas, Western Tennessee, Dallas area, Northern Texas, anything that falls from the sky, whether it's freezing drizzle, freezing rain, sleet, snow, it's all going to be frozen. It's going to freeze on contact, and it's going to accumulate in some kind of way. So this is the chance of a 1/10 of an inch of ice. This is why the area probably in Lake Charles and things like that probably are a little up in the air. They don't know, are they going to issue an ice storm warning, a winter storm warning, what? I think it'll be a winter storm warning because I think they'll be dealing with a little sleet too. Chances of a 1/4 inch of ice. This is a big deal in central Louisiana, into central Mississippi, near close to the Jackson area, and check it out. It even gets close to Birmingham. Birmingham, y'all are a few ticks away from being in the game of some kind of winter weather. I really think y'all are just a few ticks away. And even in areas in east central, like the plateau of Tennessee, just a few ticks away. I don't think it's going to tick far enough to get to you guys in Atlanta or anything. But Birmingham, watch out. Just watch. This could be an issue that really sneaks up on areas of Alabama at the last second. Really is. But I really think an ice storm is going to occur in northern Alabama. Chances for a 1/2 inch of ice, that's pretty high, this far out. That's probably one of the highest I've seen in a while. For Mississippi, literally the deep southwestern areas of Mississippi into central Louisiana, that's a solid 20 to 30% chance of a 1/2 inch of ice. A 1/2 inch of ice gets to the point where it starts to freeze up on the roadways and break trees. So this is a big deal. So we're going to look at the GFS here, and we're going to go through it. This is what I'm talking about. It's like a quick-hitting storm. It's not quick-hitting, but it's not a lot of precipitation with it. As far as Dallas, you get a little bit deeper where the low pressure gets into the Gulf. This is where heavier precipitation is. So as far as who's going to get the most snow in Texas, I'm really thinking it might be obviously an area. There's going to be some kind of heavy band that forms in Oklahoma. The snowfall ratios in this area are going to be ridiculous. You get a 1/4 inch of precipitation, and it could end up accumulating to 6 inches of snow, 7 inches of snow. You get down to Houston and things like that. It's showing a freezing rain threat, sleet threat, but look at all this sleet and freezing rain breaking out into Louisiana. You get into the next frame, I really think there's going to be a first little wave here of winter weather that moves through Memphis, even areas of Dallas, northern Louisiana, Arkansas, northern Mississippi. That's going to be mostly sleet and freezing rain. It's going to set the tone of the storm. That moves out, and then the low pressure takes over. And here you go. You got freezing rain, sleet deep down into Mississippi. And look how close it's getting. The whole western area of Alabama, except for down towards the coastal areas, is into sleet and freezing rain as you get into overnight Monday into Tuesday. And then you've got your cold enough air in far northwestern areas of Alabama to be all snow, according to the GFS. And of course, you got low pressure just riding on top of us in the Carolinas. We're just getting kind of screwed. But this is the snow right here breaking out in Tennessee. This is crazy, crazy stuff, crazy storm, and it moves on out. You look at the snowfall accumulations for the GFS. It accounts for sleet too. That's why they're showing so much just south. So I don't think you're going to get 9 inches of snow and sleet. This is kind of all combined together. It's kind of misleading, but it just gives you an idea where winter weather is going to fall. You look at we'll take a look at this. This is a more widespread view, and it's showing 8-9 inches of snow in northwest Alabama. And that's not going to happen. That's accounting for sleet, freezing rain. It kind of throws it all together. This is going to be in this area. This is going to be more of sleet and freezing rain in the southern sections right closer to this low pressure. But this is going to be significant sleet and freezing rain. So this is a big deal, really big deal. Close-up view of the European model. Here comes the storm. That little first wave will be a little wild card right there for Dallas as the cold air reinforces itself getting into Sunday. Freezing rain, sleet breaking out, and then the main storm takes over. And this little band of heavy snow falling in single-digit temperatures, I think, is going to be insane. And it shows the freezing line getting almost all the way down to Houston, all the way into the Gulf of Mexico. And look at this area of heavy snow south of Dallas. I think this area south of Dallas is going to be a wild card for heavier snow. The snowfall ratios probably won't be as good, but it's still going to be insane for southern areas of southeastern areas of Texas. And then it really gets going, all snow for Shreveport. And look at this near Lake Charles area. This is why they're kind of up in the air, because this is just going to be a mixed bag of something. Gets into Mississippi. That is a heavy thumping of snow in very cold temperatures. You get a little bit further, east, and here it comes. And here comes that icing event from northwestern Alabama. I think y'all could get a half inch of ice in some places in Alabama. This is going to be a big, and then it ends with snow on top of the ice. But look how close it is. If this thing ticks a little bit further east, I mean, soon Nashville, you're going to be all sleet and snow with no ice. And in the northeast, it's still up in the air what's going to happen up there, because it just depends on how that low pressure rides. This is snowfall accumulation off the European model. It's picking up on that area south of Dallas. I would not be surprised, and I'm hoping for you guys, Dallas, if Dallas only picks up 3 to 4 inches of snow. It's going to be absolutely brutally cold, but I think there's going to be some kind of transfer going on where you're going to get some heavy snow northwest of y'all, but then the low pressure is going to take over, and the heaviest precipitation sets up just south of y'all. I don't know. You can try to predict where it happens all day, and then it gets up into northern Louisiana, southern areas of Arkansas. I think the National Weather Service is going with more snow in the northern areas because the snowfall ratios, you got to think, we're looking at this, and this is a 10-to-1 liquid ratio. This snow is going to be falling at maybe a 20-to-1 in some of these locations, meaning 20 inches of snow off 1 inch of liquid precipitation. That's what that means. And it gets higher the colder the snow is falling at. You look at the NAM, we're getting in the NAM range, and here comes the storm. We'll go through this quick because this video is kind of dragging on, but here comes the NAM. It's taking over, and this is what I'm talking about, where kind of the low pressure takes over right here. It shows some kind of weird precipitation gap, but this is a lot of sleet and freezing rain for Louisiana, and just a heavy area of it that moves through Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Arkansas. Snowfall accumulations, this accounts for everything, so that's why it's showing some 14 inches in northern Louisiana. It just kind of shows you where this is. Don't look at this and say 15 inches. No, it's not going to happen. This just kind of shows you a good idea of where the winter precipitation is going to set up. So another thing that I have not mentioned until now in this video is the cold air. So this is when the storm's going to be taking over here in Dallas, in Texas. I keep saying Dallas like Dallas is a state. But this is when snow's falling. You got snow falling in the teens and single digits. You got winter weather moving over these areas in the teens and 20s in the south. This is when the storm's starting to move over these areas right here in Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Tennessee. Just crazy. Look at the ridge flexing on the southeast. It's almost laughable at this point for us. I tell you that. It really is. It just, It's just disturbing how bad we're missing out right now. But it is what it is. But look at these cold temperatures. I really think that Dallas has a chance to get below zero with snowpack. Even areas in the Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Western Tennessee, y'all are going to get into the single digits. This is going to break records here. Cold air, insane storm. Please drop in the comments what y'all are singing out there, because I wish I was out there just experiencing it. I wish I was somewhere where I didn't really have to drive, where I could just soak it all in. But anyways, thank y'all for tuning in, and y'all have a great Saturday, and go on and prepare for this nasty winter storm and cold, because it's coming.